Happy, beautiful day. Pete Cohen in the house, or should I say MJ in the house. And I'm not talking about Michael Jackson. I'm talking about Michael Jordan. This is day 4 of 5 days on the Kickstart plan. And I'm delighted to be here. My wife told me I wasn't allowed to wear this out the house. So I'm not wearing it out the house. I'm wearing it now. I'm in the house. I'm very, very proud of this because Michael Jordan is one of my heroes. I don't know if you have many heroes in life, but he's someone heroically I have emulated since I was 19 years old. I never forget the day I first saw a video of him playing basketball, and I thought, who is this guy? This guy can fly. But then when you look at anyone who's great at anything, you basically realize none of it comes down to chance. It all comes down to choice, basically. And dare I say it, hard work and dedication. There is no substitute for that. Welcome to all of you that are joining me right here, right now. Super excited to be here. I think I must have worn this maybe twice in my life and not for very long. It's a collector's item, actually. This is probably worth maybe a good few £100, but I'd never sell it because I love it. But I want to share with you a few things today. Yeah, look. If you come to my house, you'll see I have pictures of him everywhere. And always I'm thinking about what he would do, especially when it comes to train physically, and always thinking that when I fall down, someone like him in my mind would be giving me his hand saying, hey, let's get back up again. No matter what, let's keep getting up. Let's keep getting up. And you realize that, you know, as corny as it sounds, success always leaves clues. And everyone needs coaching. Everyone needs mentoring. If you want to kickstart your life and you want to do it on your own, that's fine. You know, good luck. I really do wish you luck, because all of the years of work that I have done, I can tell you that all great people, all people that have done amazing things, they didn't do it on their own. They had people that supported them. Many of you know that Kobe Bryant died not long ago. Michael Jordan played a massive part in Kobe's success. Basically, Michael said to Kobe, you know, if I can help you, you know, just let me know. So Kobe took that to heart and literally phoned Michael Jordan all the time, left him text messages in the middle of the night. What do you think about that? What's your opinion on this? How should I deal with this situation? And I always think it's really interesting where you realize what some people are doing and what other people aren't doing. And today I want to, you know, this week we've been really looking at how to kickstart your life. Why would you want to kickstart your life? Well, I don't know, but I would imagine that you're not exactly where you want to be in your life. There are certain things that you want to do that you haven't done yet. There are certain things that you would like to have that you don't have. There's a certain feelings that you would like to feel, maybe more peace, more freedom, maybe to be more inspired. But you know what? You've got a competition on your hands, right? Life is a competition. So if you're watching this live, just press 1. If you're watching this on a record, press 2, so I know. I will go back and look at everyone's comments. I genuinely really do appreciate you being here. And I want to reiterate a few things. So we know that, look, a great life, it doesn't happen by chance. It really, really doesn't happen. I don't think it does. It happens by choice. And that's what separates us from all other things on earth, really, because other things rely on instinct and rely on nature. I'm not saying we shouldn't rely on instinct. We should definitely rely on nature and learn to support nature. But we have to look at the choices that we're making and ultimately where are those choices taking us. A kickstart is what I'm giving you this week. What you do with it is entirely up to you. A kickstart, where that word comes from, is from a motorcycle. You literally kick down on that lever to make the engine go. And that's what many of us need. We need to move forwards because, as many of you know, in life, yes, you guessed it, you're either moving forwards into growth or you're moving back into safety. You really are growing or dying. And many of us are choosing to die. I really, really believe that, because just by the choices that we make, they're going to decrease our life. It's as simple as that. You know, statistically, more than likely, that is going to happen. I don't know whether you've heard of the words DNA, which some people look at and think, well, you know, my DNA is broken, or I'm missing this, or this isn't working, when really there's something else that most people don't talk about, which is what's called epigenetics, which basically means how are your genes expressing themselves based on how you're living. So, booyakasha, how are you living? How's it going for you right now? And ting, you know what I'm saying? How's it going for you? I don't know why I'm talking like that, but how is it? How are your relationships? How's your health? How's your energy? How's your work? How's your wealth? And are you doing really what you really want to do in this life? Now, if you're not, then ultimately, I suppose you have a choice. And what we've been looking at this week is kickstarting your life. And on Monday, I asked you some big questions, right? Big questions, which was, here you are today. Hello, here I am today, going back 5 years and looking where you are now. Are you where you want to be? Are you where you want to be? Now, I did this exercise prior to starting this, and I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I am not where I want to be in certain areas. And there are definitely some things I need to do and tweak. And as I said yesterday, journaling is if you want to kickstart something, you ultimately have to understand, where are you kickstarting something? Where do you want this thing to go? And that's what I want to share with you today. Building this avatar, this perfect avatar of something that you're going after. And then we have to decide, what are the rituals, what are the routines that need to be in place to manifest this thing? How do we track this thing? I mentioned yesterday, when I used to be a personal trainer, right at the beginning, no one really taught me how to be a great personal trainer. I literally learned physiology and anatomy and aerobics and all of these things, but no one taught me how to be a really good trainer until I started looking at some good trainers, and they were doing what I wasn't doing. They were tracking, they were writing down numbers with all of their clients so they could see exactly where they are. And you could be obsessive with this stuff, or you can just use it as a tool. And that's why our journal, where is my journal? Somewhere. There, it's over here. When you use your own tools, this is a tool that we put together to help people track, where they are and where they're going. Because if your life is worth living, it's worth recording. Thank you very much to all of you that bought this yesterday. You can get a copy of this. If you haven't, get one. We're giving them a massive discount. Just use the promo word Journal25. Go there, get yourself one, and start tracking where you're going. Because if you don't, good luck. Honestly, I really wish you luck, because if you don't, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you don't, what do you think happens? What is the story of humanity? What's the story of human beings? Most of you have seen the video that we posted maybe 3 or 4 months ago, before the COVID virus took off. It was me in a graveyard. That's had about 65,000 views, which is pretty awesome. But I was talking about what's the most expensive land in the world. And the most expensive land in the world is the graveyard, because so many people are buried there that their great ideas, the things they wanted to do, they didn't do. They gave in. They were living for today, for today. Now, I'm not living for today, I'm living for tomorrow, today. I really want you to think about this. You can live for today, and if you live for today, you're not really bothered about tomorrow. This is why so many people have problems with debt, with their health. It's not that you don't enjoy today, but you want to get the most out of today so you can get the most out of tomorrow. And the people that choose to do this, they understand why it's absolutely essential to track, because otherwise you'll just give in to temptation. One of the oldest stories known to man, you know what that story is, right? Adam and Eve. Yeah, you know that story? What were they told not to do? What did they do? They gave in to temptation. And if we give in to temptation, which we do every single day, right now, there's so many shiny objects. We need disciplines. We need rituals, whether you like it or not. Because on Tuesday, I spoke about the 7 things that you need to do in order to be unstoppable in any area of your life. So most people, the areas of their life, the big 3, their health, their energy, their relationships, their work, these are the areas that they need rituals. If you want to be healthy and you just think, you know what, I'll just eat green vegetables when I feel like it. Oh, I'll just exercise it when I feel like it. You won't feel like it one day and you won't do it, because it's not a ritual. If you want to be unstoppable, and none of this is sexy, none of this is particularly fun. You know, it can be fun, the feeling of fun of doing something and the sense of achievement. But being unstoppable definitely revolves around you making some new choices. Definitely got to make some new choices. And then you've got to work to implement those choices. It takes conscious effort, work, right? Then you've got to repeat. If you don't repeat, what do you think happens? Goodbye. You'll just end up looking at another cat video on YouTube. And if you like cat videos on YouTube, keep watching cat videos on YouTube. But I don't know how that's going to necessarily help you in the long term. A little bit of what you like, great. But it's hard for a lot of people to do a little bit of what they like. They need discipline. And discipline is associated with punishment. I was talking to a good friend of mine who I was at school with, who I think is probably watching this. And after however many years, we've started talking again, and we were talking about the school that we went to and how rubbish it was. It was a complete waste of time. We learned nothing in school, nothing apart from, you know, we had built friendships with people, but it was just a waste of time. And we would, with discipline, they would hit us, right? That was the sort of thing we associate with discipline. We need to change our relationship with discipline to be a disciple of ourselves, of where we are going. Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player of all time because he was seriously disciplined. He knew what he wanted to do and he went after it. What do you want and what are you prepared to do to go after it? Because without rituals or routines, I don't like routines. For me, are not good enough, because a routine is kind of like, oh, it's a little routine here. Could do that. No, a ritual is, this is what I do. This is what I do regardless of how I feel. Because if we wake up every day and we don't have rituals, this is what I find is you'll give in to temptation. What did you do this morning when you woke up? I mean, I don't know. What did you do? Did you not think about it, or did you just see what happened? Probably what a lot of people do is they go immediately on here and go and see and react to something rather than, look, let's create. What do you want to create? And then rituals, the next step is being consistent, right? Being consistent with your rituals. That's how you get momentum. And then ultimately, that is unstoppable. And I want to tell you that unstoppable is still a step in the 7. Why? Because it's a choice. I choose to be unstoppable. How do you choose to do that? Does this make sense? So in the description of today, I talked about the avatar, right? So with some of the work that we do in our business, with our coaching business, we're asking that question, you know, what is the avatar? What is the person that we want to work with, right? What do you think? What do you think is the type of person that I want to work with? And who do you think are the type of people that I've worked with in the past? Those of you that know me, maybe some of you are watching this for the first time, I don't even know who this guy is. Why is he wearing a most ridiculous, shirt? But I've got 2 of my heroes. Look, I've got here, this is another one, Spartan. You know, the creator of Spartan races, Joe DeSana, he's one of my heroes. You know, he's someone I look up to. And then, of course, my own branding, which I love, you know, which is this, all about red. Red, the symbol of joy, the symbol of power, the symbol of leadership to me. Red, taking the lead. Do you want to take the lead in your life? If you do, please don't do it on your own. That's why we created this Facebook group. That's why there's, but just so you know, there's 43 people watching here right now. Yet on Monday, there was, I think we had 70 people watching it in this group. On Tuesday, I don't know. But, you know, we've got great intentions. But if this is who I am, this is what I do, this is where I'm going, it's really important. And what I've seen with people, if they get into the habit of routines, soon as something happens that they don't want to have happen, they go back to what they were doing before. And that's really sad when people put so much effort into things. And I can't explain to you this in any other way. Great life doesn't happen by chance. You have to design it. Otherwise, you'll go into the world, and you'll see this today, because the thing that you have in common with me, we're all in competition with ourselves. The ultimate competition is not who you're playing against. The only person you're ever playing against is yourself. And if you want to win that battle, it takes work. That's why so many people in life end up not where they want to be, because they gave in to a part of themselves that just wanted to settle. If you want to settle, that's fine. Just turn this off. The type of person I'm looking to work with are people that don't want to moan, don't want to complain. They just want to get on and do stuff. They want to make things happen. Maybe they're stuck a little. Maybe they're frustrated. Maybe they have issues with confidence. Maybe their mind is a bit scattered. Maybe they give in to temptation. But ultimately, there's something they want to do. They want to be better, and they are prepared to do the work. For many years, I worked in the field of weight loss. I've written 19 books and maybe five of those books. So I used to work with a lot of people, actually a lot more women, because the whole dieting thing was much more focused on women. And that was something that a lot of women were very interested in doing. In fact, because women had done so many diets, they often struggled. Whereas men, if they decided to lose weight and they had never tried to lose weight in the past, they often had more success because they didn't know it was difficult. But for so many of us, those repeated attempts of trying to change our lives, read a book, buy a course, do this, do that, and not really giving anywhere because they've never really conquered themselves. They've never found a way to move through the relationship they have with themselves. They tend to go back to what they were doing before. So every failed attempt, basically then with the next step, there's a part of their brain that goes, don't do this. This is a waste of time. Why are you doing it? Yet you still do it. And that's okay, but maybe now is the time to have a new relationship with the past, to recognize that failure is a good thing because it gives you the opportunity to learn. But this is the key thing. And I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to get here. I'm telling you about my avatar of the person I'm looking to work with. I'm looking to work with that person who is just wanting things to get better. They want to be more inspired. They want more freedom, more peace. They want to create, whether it's wealth, health, or all of it. It's just stuff they want to do. We come together. What are we going to do? What about you? See, this is the key, right? This is the real crux of what I'm trying to say here. Do you remember I said yesterday, those of you that were watching yesterday, about the umbilical cord that you came from, that you were connected to your mum? And many of us still have very strong connections to our mums, even if our mums aren't even here. Some do, some don't. But what if you had a strong or even stronger connection to where you're going? See, Michael Jordan had this incredibly strong connection to being the best that he can be. And every time he went out and played, he knew there was someone who was watching who might never see him again. And he was playing for those people. Who are you playing for? And this is what I want you to start thinking. I can help you with this, but I can't do it for you. I've done this with world champions in sport. I've done it with so many people who have done so many incredible things. What about you? Where are you going? Right? Now, we know where we're ultimately going, but where do you want to go before that happens? Who do you want to become? And if you can start to have an idea of your own avatar, take some time to think about it. If you don't know what that word means, go and look it up. The avatar. We live in a world where all of this virtual reality and people have avatars and they become this character in a fantasy world rather than this is the real world. I want you today, I dare you to think about this. And tomorrow, let's really look at matching the tracking, matching the rituals, right? So that you have your own plan. Because I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one plan for you in your life. And that's yours. No one likes to be told. They think they like to be told, but most people don't, right? Everyone wants to find their own way. What is the best time of day for me to do this? And I can give you my opinion about all of that based on my life and my experience, but ultimately, this is your life. And there was a very famous TV program called This Is Your Life, where Michael Aspel or Eamon Andrews, the presenter, they'd get someone that was famous, they'd surprise them, they'd take them to a studio and present them with a red book. And basically they'd go through and say, you were born on the 13th of the 5th, 1970. And here are these people. And that's me, by the way. This is what they have to say about you. But you know what? When they talked about this is your life, it's like, well, your life ain't over, is it? Is your life over? When I see my friends and we talk, I'm always talking about I love to talk about the old days. That was fun But what are we going to do? And boy, did we have some laughs. Oh, laughing like you wouldn't believe. Still laughing to this day. But where are we going? I want to know what your biggest takeaway is from all of this. Your past does not have to define you. You can be what you want to be. Decide to build your avatar. And those of you that work closely with me, you better start using this. Okay, if you really want to get the most out of working with me, you better start using it. And especially if you don't feel like it. Because the time has come for us to stop messing around and realizing we're in competition with ourselves. How do we win that battle with ourselves? It has to be ritualistic behavior. Doesn't mean all day, every day. It doesn't mean you don't put your feet up and enjoy the weather and enjoy where you are. But understand, a great life doesn't happen just by you sitting there. You've actually got to do something. What is it that you want to do? What have you still got left in the basement? Thank you so much. And lastly, I just want to ask, how many of you listen to the Pete Cohen podcast? Which is now the name of, it's changing again, the name is changing back to the Mi365 podcast. Had all of these business cards that had the Mi365 podcast. And when we changed it to the Pete Cohen podcast, I threw them all away. Now I've got loads of business cards that say the Pete Cohen podcast. And now I don't know what I'm going to do with those. But we're changing this because I don't want this to be about me and Pete Cohen. I want this to be about you, Mi365, my life, my change, my journal, my health, my life. And that's why we're getting hoodies and polo shirts made for people like you to wear, so you can wear it with pride and think, this is my life. I'm delighted to be here and inspire you and be there. If you don't listen to our podcast, check it out. Whichever podcast player you use. If you listen to on Apple, please leave us a review. Look at the reviews that we have on there if you like. You can see this is the real deal, or whether it's Spotify. However you listen, please listen because the information is there. We need to feed our brains with positivity, because if we don't, our tendency is just to stay put. And we have to fight against that tendency, I believe. I really, really think we do. We have to find something to fight for, to go after, to build, to create, to make happen. I'm happy to take some questions really quickly. If you haven't got a journal, go and get them. We sold out the other day and we're waiting for another order. So as soon as they come in, whether you've used it before or not, let's get into the habit of using it, because it's a fantastic, fantastic tool. I've definitely said enough about that for one day. Hopefully you've got the message. Let me have a look here. Does anyone have any questions before we finish this off today? Look, there I am. Look, I'm wearing Michael Jordan. Hopefully you've got the message. Let me have a look here. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, well, you don't have to call it discipline. Disciple. Be a disciple of yourself. Yeah, I'm like you. I'm not a big fan of that word. I'm not even a big fan of rituals. You know, I don't want, because for me, it's like someone's telling me what to do, but I'm telling myself what to do, because I know I can be my own worst enemy. I can cut corners. I'm looking out for myself like never before, and that's what I encourage you to do. Thank you very much, Jill. That would be great. It makes a big difference. And with your avatar, write it down and share it in this group. Post it in this group. Those of you that are in the Facebook group, the Facebook group is for you. You know, it's private. And just share it. This is what I'm working on. Thank you, all of you that are here today. Don't be a stranger. Don't hide. Be a part of the team. Team Mi365. Thank you for being here. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow morning for day 5. Or let's put this whole thing together of the Kickstart plan. And let's do this. Thank you for being here. Much love.